Right, we take you back to our leading story where we try and make sense of the impact of the Municipal Structures Amendment Act, which came into effect on November 1st after President Cyril Ramaphosa announced the act in October. We have on the line local government analyst Amos Goliath. Amos, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. As matters stand right now, there are 66 hung municipalities, hung councils, where political parties are essentially scrambling right now to find the right partnerships in terms of coalitions. How does the act that was deemed effective on November 1st, how does it set the precedent as these talks get underway and as these leaders are scrambling to ensure that their voices are heard within these agreements?
Good morning, Mpho, and good morning to your viewers. The newly amended Municipal Local Government Municipal Structures Act has far-reaching implications for how the process of forming coalitions will be impacted in the coming few days and 2 weeks. The Act has been amended recently. And in terms of the amended Act, Section 10 of the Municipal Structures Amendment Act of 2021 provides that an elected councillor is deemed to assume office on the date of the declaration of the election by the IEC, which simply translates into the reality that people's names who have been submitted to the IEC, the candidate list that was submitted to the IEC, candidates as allocated by their political parties are elected as councillors on the date when the IEC declared the outcome of the election. So if from the proportional representation list, 11 or 5 of those seats are allocated to a particular party, the first 5 people on the list of registered candidates submitted to the IEC before the local government elections will duly be automatically elected as councillors.
When it comes to, pardon me for interrupting you there, when it comes to some of the talks in terms of the issues that each party wants to put forward within the coalition, what happens in an instance of misconduct where you find that a councillor has been suspected of some form of misconduct? How does this act help, how does it help the actual structure, the coalition, if one has been found breaking the code of conduct?
Before I answer that question, let me just also state that parties are not permitted to change or rearrange party lists immediately after the announcement of the outcome of the elections. That can only be done after the setting of the first official council meeting. The amended Act provides for a code of conduct for councillors. And this code of conduct is a code of conduct that applies more for council, where the Speaker and the Municipal Council can take action against councillors for any acts of misconduct. It does not apply to the political parties. Political parties applies their own constitutions and disciplinary codes when they deal with issues of misconduct with councillors.
So let's talk a little bit about, the details of this Structures Amendment Act. I mean, it has been dubbed a game changer, essentially. Let's talk a little bit about the real examples that would result in some sort of disagreement when it comes to coalitions not working as they should and parties not being able to fulfill the 5-year term as discussed right at the beginning. What happens in terms of the declarations that need to be set out, gifts and favors? How does that affect the relationship? And how does it perhaps, how does this act help in an instance like that, which can be the reason why some of these formations don't make it till the end of the 5-year term?
Look, the Act does not provide for how coalitions should be formed. The Act provides for how party lists should be, when changes can be made to the party list of the councils. It provides clarity in terms of issues that relates to quorums. How does a council quorate? Previously, the Act was a bit vague and was open for misinterpretation, and it clarifies various issues that were not clarified in the Structures Act as it is. It also clarifies the procedures for how these councillors and speakers go about in dealing with issues of discipline when councillors make themselves guilty of misconduct as councillors in the execution of their duties.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you there, but very quickly for the sake of time, the additional functions of a speaker, how do those come into play with this Act?
Additional functions of a speaker just makes it sets it out. A speaker could always deal with misconduct as far as councillors are concerned, but it was very vague and very cumbersome. The new Act just makes it very, very clear for councillors on what is permitted by councillors and what is not permitted by councillors. Councillors previously had to rely on a lot of guidelines and policies. SAGA played a great role in assisting municipalities as far as that is concerned. But the discipline of councillors will definitely not be affected in determining whether a coalition works or whether a coalition doesn't work. That will purely be a political factor that determines whether a coalition will work or whether it will last or not last.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time and clarifying that some clarity on the Municipal Structures Amendment Act, which came into effect on November 1st. Local government analyst there, Amos Goliath, giving us a breakdown of how this act resonates with those who may be going into coalition talks and perhaps the big changes that it seeks to make when it comes to the conduct of councillors in office. We do continue, of course, to bring you the very latest in the world